Good evening, all of you. Today we will be discussing a new chapter, which is chapter 2, linear equation in one variable. Okay. In this chapter, mainly we will be discussing how to solve such equations, how to solve linear equation in one variable. Okay. So before solving such equations, first let's recall some terms that we have already used. Let's see what you mean by linear equation in one variable. We have to see each word by word. Okay, what does it mean? Before discussing or before explaining what you mean by an equation, let me ask you what you mean by an expression. Expression means what? 3x plus 2. This is an expression. Okay, or I can say 3y plus 4z. This is again an expression. Okay, now 5x plus 8 plus 9y. This is again another expression. Okay, all these are examples for expression. Understand? Now, how will an expression turn into an equation? If we are equating this expression equal to something. Okay, if I am equating it to some 0, or if I am equating this to 3, and if this is equal to 7 or something like this. Okay, then expression will turn into what? Equation. Okay, then this will turn into an equation. Okay, this 3x plus 2 is simply called an expression, as well as 3y plus 4z is again an expression. 5x plus 8 plus 9y is again an expression. Okay, but if we are equating this expression to something, or if we are putting an equal sign in an expression, then it will turn into an equation. Okay, so that is the difference between equation and expression. Now you can see in our heading, you can see linear equation in one variable. What do you mean by one variable? That means in the first equation you can see that 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. Here we have used only one variable, that is x. Okay, but in the second equation you can see 3y plus 4z. Here you can see one variable y and another variable z. That means here there are two variables. Okay, two variables are here. What about the last equation? Here also you can see 1, 2, x and y. Two variables are there. In this chapter we will be dealing with only equations with one variable. Okay, that means there will be only one variable present in the equation. For example, I can say uh, like this: 3x plus 4 is equal to 5x. Okay, this is an equation with one variable. Why? Because here only x is there. Or I can say 5 y plus 3 y equals 57. Okay, this is again equation in one variable. Or 7y equals 0. This is again equation in one variable. Okay, in all these cases you can see only one variable is there in the equation. Okay, so in this chapter we will be dealing with only equation in one variable. Okay, so that is the thing with one variable. Okay, so now you understood what you mean by equation in one variable. Now let's see what you mean by linear. Okay, linear means what? Linear means what? I will write two examples. Suppose 6x plus 7 equals 0. Okay, now 6x square plus 4 equals 0. Okay, so here x, the power of x is just 1. Okay, the power of x is 1. Okay, such equations are called what? Linear. Okay, this is called what? Linear equation. Okay, but here you can see the power of x is what? 2. Okay, such equations are not linear. Okay, such equations are not linear. Understood? Now I shall say 7y 7y square plus 3y equals 0. Okay. So here you can see that this is an equation in one variable. Why? Because here only one variable is present. But this is not a linear equation in one variable. Okay. This is not a linear equation in one variable. Why? Because here you can see that the power of y is 2 here. Okay. So you cannot call it as what? Equation in one variable. Sorry, you cannot call it as a linear equation. Okay. Now 7y plus 3 equals 0. This you can call it as a linear equation. Okay. Here this can be called as a linear equation. Understood? So this is the definition for what? Linear equation in one variable. Okay. So I hope you understood each word by word meaning. Okay. What you mean by linear, what you mean by equation, and what you mean by one variable. Okay. So in this chapter, we will be dealing with linear equation in one variable only. Okay, we will be discussing about how to solve such equations in this chapter. Okay, now let's see what are the parts in an algebraic equation. I'll give an example. Suppose 6x plus 7 equals 0. Okay, suppose or 6x plus 7 equals 8. Okay, and you can see that this is a linear equation in one variable. Let's name each part of this equation. Okay, as you know that this x can be called as what? This x is variable. Okay, this x is the variable and this is the equal sign. Now what about this 6x plus 7? This 6x plus 7 can be called as LHS, that is left hand side. That is expression on the left hand is called what? Left hand side, and this is called what? RHS. Okay, RHS, that means right hand side. Understand? So these are the main parts of an algebraic equation. Nothing, all these things you know already, but we are just recalling it. Okay. So there will be some expressions on the left which is called LHS, and there will be some expressions on the right which is called RHS. Okay, and there will be one equal sign and there will be variable. Okay, so here the variable is what? X. Okay, and when you are solving the equation you will see that only for some values of x, okay, only for some values of x, LHS will be equal to RHS. Okay, and that particular value of x is called what? Solution of the equation. Okay, that is if you are solving this 6x plus 7 equals 8. Okay, if you are solving this, then at last you will get one value for x. Okay, that value for x is called what? Solution of this equation. Understand? That value for x is called solution of this equation, and only for that value of x only the equation LHS will be equal to RHS. Okay, only for that particular value LHS will be equal to RHS, and that particular value of x is called what? Solution of this equation. Okay, so these are the things that you should know before solving an equation. That is what you mean by an equation and what are the things present in an equation, then variables, then what? LHS and RHS, and finally solution of equation. Okay, that is all about this introduction part for linear equation in one variable. Okay, and in the next video we will be discussing about how to solve a linear equation. Okay.